What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Kaylu,
And your boy ZB.
and we are back with another episode of Timeout. Let's get real.
Episode 8.
Episode number 8. What
8 of
is
them.
goody?
What's good with you? It's been a crazy wild day, My boy is 4 years old. And I didn't
I
even tell
know.
you this.
Oh
So let
gosh,
me
what?
just give you my update or where I'm at.
Okay.
My boy Easton is 4 years old today, so it was actually the weirdest experience that I've had so far as a parent, like as far as like just like reasonless emotion. Like, damn,
Mm-hmm.
he's 4. I can't believe he's 4. But I got him. So his mom had him for half the day. Then I picked him up, and I'm scrambling around doing all this shopping, getting his balloons and all this because his mom already said like, oh, he was salty because he didn't get the balloon and certain things he wanted. So I got all these toys and different things for him. And like when you're hyped to have somebody open your gift,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like not equally as hype or not as hype as you imagined.
Yeah.
Low key got my feelings hurt today by my 4-year-old.
Did you?
Yeah. Daddy,
Why?
I didn't. Why'd you get me that Spider-Man toy? I wanted a Spider-Man car. And
Uh-uh.
I was just like feeling a little salty. Like my energy just instantly changed. I'm like, I got him
Uh-uh.
multiple things, and like once he started opening them up and playing with them, he liked them
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. But like you could just tell it like wasn't like what he wanted. But he's too young to like really say exactly what he wants,
Mm-hmm.
unless like we're walking through the store and he points at it. So
Yeah.
like I got him multiple things. He seemed happy. It was a good day. We got one-on-one time, but low-key got my feelings hurt a little bit.
Okay, I saw her snap. Was that the Spider-Man balloon you got him in Snap or no? Did she get one?
She must have got one because I got one, but if it was her
Mhm.
snap, then she might have went and got one. I don't know. I think you saw a Spider-Man cake.
No, it
It
was a
wasn't.
balloon.
I didn't see that,
It
but
was a balloon in the left corner of the Snap, and I was like, I thought you were there when they were singing happy birthday. I thought,
no.
like, when you went to pick him up that you guys just sang happy birthday to him real quick or something.
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well, shout out to my boy E, and happy birthday. I know you listen to our podcast with your mom, so shout
Yep.
out to you, E.
Happy birthday to my little guy, firstborn.
Yes. Yes, 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 yes.
Should have been Zach Jr.
Oh my gosh. I can't
Yeah.
stand when people do that, honestly. Like, no.
Yeah, I would rather not be a junior. I'd rather be like my own name, but
Yeah. I just think
who knows?
that's like really played out in certain situations. I know LeBron wishes he wouldn't have named Bronny LeBron.
Well, that's why Braun goes by LeBron. That's why Junior goes by Bronny. That's why he goes by Bronny,
But
trying to pave his
he's
own way. But
still
you're
going to be
always,
called LeBron James Jr. in the
even if he,
NBA.
yeah, but even if he wasn't that, he would still be LeBron's son when you're at that tier, like you're LeBron's son.
Facts, facts, facts. So tell me, how bad does it suck that I'm gone? That you're not face to face with me anymore in person?
Well, we had a great weekend, a great long weekend, and
Yes.
as you know, I was like a little bit on top of a hangover, feeling pretty like sick and salty that y'all are leaving. But damn, my body feels better now because it was a long weekend and we went hard.
We did. It was
At
so
least I
fun.
definitely went hard, but that was
It was a
fun.
great time.
It was
It was
cool.
a
We
great
got
time.
to slide out a couple different nights. Like, when does
Mhm.
that happen anymore? That was cool.
Yeah.
It was
It was
cool, but it's not something like it lets me know like it's not something that I can't do that all the time.
oh, for
But
sure.
maybe like maybe if you were here, once you're here, if you ever do move, if you
Mhm.
were here, like we're not going to be on that mission every weekend. It's not going to be
Yeah.
like on a mission to turn up and get the time in while you're
Mhm.
here. It'll be just the norm.
I know.
Family dinners and such.
I know. I can't wait to move. I really okay, so I want the listeners to tell me if they think I'm insane for this, but, like, a part of me really wants to, like ZB thinks I'm nuts for this, but a part of me wants to buy a camper and move to Florida and live in a camper on a campground by the water, like, what is so bad about that? Like, he thinks that I'm too bougie to do that, but I swear to you, like, I feel like it's just me. I don't have a boyfriend. I don't have any kids. It's literally just me. So why not? Like, you know?
I can't see somebody like you living in a camper, hopping
But
from
listen, think
state.
about the content.
She called me earlier saying, I think I'm going to buy a camper and I can literally just move from state park to state park and decide which city I'd rather live in when it's time to find a place.
Yeah. Listen,
It's
I
a
can
good
get
idea.
settled. I can get settled. It's way cheaper to live in a camper than it is to rent a $4,000 three-bedroom house there. Like, I don't need three-bedroom,
Yeah,
but,
true.
like, my only thing is, like, Wi-Fi and, like,
Yeah,
that's
that would
my
be a
thought.
problem.
And, like, my inventory. Like, where am I gonna put all my inventory, you know? Because it's, like, minimalist living, you know?
Some
That's
of
my
the
problem.
some of the camping sites might offer Wi-Fi and
Yeah, 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 true.
electric hookups and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But the funniest thing is when you hit somebody to come kick it, and hey, you want to stay the night tonight? I'm not really trying to camp tonight.
It's not a camper, it's like glamping. Like, first of all, please don't let him do me, okay? Because the campers that I'm looking at are super freaking nice. Like, they're super cute. It's just like a little studio. Like, it's just cute.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it really is like a actual somewhat large studio apartment on
Yeah,
wheels,
and it's,
essentially.
like, modern. Like, I'm not gonna live in, like, a gross one that has, like, turquoise curtains. Like, come on now. It's gonna be modern. That's another thing. I wanna, like, fix it up. I could do so much content with it, like, come on. I just
I
think for,
think
like, 6 months, it'd be dope.
from the content side of things, that would be dope. So
Yeah.
yeah, like while you're building, you come down here and you know leave your camper parked in the morning and drive to work
Shut
and come back to it.
up.
But you're stacking bread.
Exactly. My point.
It's a smart idea. Just can you make it work? Or
Yeah,
will
or
I
I
get
could
that
go down
call
there.
like, I mean, if you want to come take a hot shower, my door is always open.
See, I was thinking, you can shower at Planet Fitness. Duh, I have the black card. I can go take long showers at Planet Fitness.
You know, like this is I guess somewhat off topic, but since you mentioned Planet Fitness, you know what one of my literal like biggest heebie-jeebie moment things are, like my fear damn
Showers
near
or something
is not the public shower, but being barefoot in the
in a
shower.
public shower.
In these like locker rooms or showers, gym showers, public
Uh-huh.
floors, even when I used to go to the pool as a kid, like ooh, walking barefoot like on a wet, cold floor. If it's the hot, dry pavement outside of the pool, it's fine, but like in the bathroom, if you ever walked in there barefoot,
Yes.
that shit is so
Ugh.
fucking it's so nasty. Like that's like one of my literal phobias.
Yeah, and guys are disgusting, so I'm sure there's, like, all
Yeah,
kinds of stuff
like
on that floor.
the things that
Yeah.
used to happen in the football locker rooms, just wow. But
So, I wanna talk about Nick Cannon, or should we say Dick Cannon? Because I'm just really confused what's wrong with our boy, because is he doing okay?
first off, I'm definitely not going to refer to him as the latter. I'll call him Nick Cannon. What do you think's wrong with him?
Okay, well, I'm calling him Dick Cannon because I watched the Angela Yee lip service interview, and they were referring to him as that, and I'm just not understanding. Like, I'm not understanding. First of all, I'm not even sure what number of kids he's on, but I know he has twins on the way, and he has, I think, like, 3 girls pregnant. So I watched the Angela Yee interview. If you guys haven't watched it already, it's, like, an
It's the
hour
lip
long.
service.
Yes, Angela Yee's, podcast, I think is it a podcast? I think it's a podcast, yeah.
Yeah, YouTube
Lip
channel, whatever.
service.
Hmm.
Yes. So I watched the YouTube version of it, and I was really shocked by quite a few things. But he just keeps getting multiple women pregnant, and, like, none of them have a problem with it. It's the craziest thing. He's
But
posting
that's
in all the maternity pictures, all the lovey-dovey posts.
so
And
I've
do
touched on
sister
this
wives follow
before.
each other? Do they follow each other on social media?
I've touched on this before though. Like, okay, first off, you need to before you paint him a certain way, you need to watch the Joe Budden podcast with Nick in it because he just did it a couple days ago. As you were here when I said, "Oh, he's in this podcast," because the man's a business mogul, as what some would refer to as a very high value man. So he's been able to move in this space. But, okay, there's another person who kind of has the same type of image as far as multiple women he's messing with and multiple kids. They kind of do him dirty, but Future. They look at Future
Uh,
one way, they look at Nick a different way. You don't
mhm.
really ever hear how it's impossible. How can you have 10 BMs or 6, 7 BMs and not hear nobody publicly trash him?
Yeah.
Nobody ever says nothing negative about him. And he basically explained that first off, it starts with coming up front. Like I'm a polygamist basically. I'm not for monogamy. I'm not going to be with one woman. And he literally said in the pod, he said, I'm very open and honest and I can basically leave you with a lifestyle that this might be the Joe Budden pod, but he was saying like I can leave you with a lifestyle that's going to better your life, and I'm going to not only better your life and provide these things for you, but I'm going to put you in a position to where you can provide them for yourself. So like it's basically like the way I heard it was basically like he has the capability to basically look at all of these people that I do believe he cares about. He said he's not having sex with anybody who doesn't mean something to him or who he doesn't care about like that. He's not making a child with them.
So he
Therefore,
just really cares about all 15 of his, like, okay, continue. Continue.
everybody. Okay, see what?
'Cause I'm
See,
gonna
you're
go in
triggered.
after.
You're
Don't worry.
you're
Go
triggered in
ahead.
the you're triggered in the average. Most women would be. I'm not going for that from my partner. So like most average people would, but this is not your average person. This is in a top percent as far as income and resource.
I guess I just don't understand, like, how he can make everyone feel cared for. Because he himself in the interview even says, like, quality time is something that he doesn't have, right? So he's, like, saying, like, he doesn't have the time. Like, he doesn't have a
Right.
lot of time. So it's like, which one does he live with? Now think about it. He has multiple women pregnant, right?
And
And he says he lives with all of them.
all of
So how does that work? I mean, surely he doesn't mean one house, right?
no, hell no. He has they're all spread apart. So when he travels probably daily, he's on a plane or close to it. He hops from place to place. He has
But
stations set
that
up.
you can't tell me that that's not exhausting. Like, that's the thing, like, the way he just sounded to me was like douche lord fuckboy, like, for real. Because, like, don't get me wrong, not fuckboy like "F these hoes, da da da," not
Yeah,
like
not at
that,
all.
but just kind of like a dog, like,
So when you say that though, but it's not like in a disrespectful way because up when I come up front to you and tell you, we kind of touched on this on the podcast last week. If I come up and tell you that I'm not like this is not going to be a monogamous relationship to where it's just me and you. It's not going to be that. I already have so many other children and women I'm involved with. Eh, Well, what can you argue with? Because in the lip service pod, the girl said, "If you're telling me what it is and I'm choosing to walk into it, then I can't have a problem with you. The problem is with me for accepting it." So if he's
yeah.
open up and upfront about it, it's not really f boy or douchebag vibes. It's just these women are choosing. These women are choosing.
No, it is, but,
No, it's
um,
not.
the whole time I was watching it, I was just like, "Ew." Like, I guess because there's so many. It's not because there's, like, 1 or 2, it's because there's so many, and at this point, do we even think the women really, like, love him, or is it more about the fame? Is it more about being seen? Is it more about, all those things? And then he was getting into, like, he wants people to shower before he, like, sleeps with them, and I'm just like, "Oh, well, why is that, Nick? Why is that?" Probably because you're going around with all 13 of your BMs and passing pH balances around and giving everybody PV. Like, let's be real here. Like, why are you so concerned about a shower, Nick? Like
Well,
like, I get it.
okay.
Don't get me wrong, obviously, like,
This is a
but
little alarming,
why is he
Kalu.
making it what's alarming?
He also said, if see, I every show that I watch,
He
I'm
said
annoyed.
he's been in relationships with females that he's had to sit down and have a conversation with them about their personal hygiene. Why are you
Yes,
having to have that conversation? Because you are sleeping with multiple people. That doesn't make them dirty, and it
That
doesn't make
doesn't.
him dirty. No, I'm not saying that that makes him dirty, but guys have to understand that women's pH balances, like a guy can literally step out on you and come back and sleep with you, and you know because your pH balance is thrown off because of him.
KG. But if this is what I was about to say, like every show that I watch, if we miss a second, I'm rewinding it. So
That's how I am.
I watch everything and hear everything. You are not sound like you heard everything because if anybody knows about the pH balance and things that you can throw off, it's him. He literally says he goes to the doctor damn near weekly because of the lifestyle he lives, and he has lupus, so he literally has
He's
to
a
have blood work done
capper.
all the
He
time.
also said that he's never, ever had an STD. You're lying. There's no way. I mean, I'm talking like the smallest. I'm not saying he's got no hardcore things, but there is no way in the world you're Nick Cannon and you have never, ever, 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 ever in your life and that many women. No way. And it's raw with
Well,
everybody. Ain't no way. He's probably talking nothing
but
serious.
in the same no, and I believe it. In the same instance, he literally said, if it's somebody random, like earlier in my days when I was out here basically really hoeing out, just trying to smash everything, or if I'm hitting somebody random now that I don't know their background, I'm using protection.
I don't believe him. I don't.
Well,
It sounds good.
the great thing is everybody's up to have their own opinion,
Yeah.
but
Now, don't get me
I,
wrong. I don't
I
dislike
believe him.
him.
I
I
believe
don't
him,
I
and I
don't
like him.
okay,
I'm Team
no.
Nick.
No, that's the thing, and that's the problem with this generation of dating. He just went out there and publicized like, imagine our whole world is like Nick Cannon. Our whole world. Every guy has multiple girl like, okay, for guys, that might seem like the best thing, but, truly think about it, like, genuinely, from a female's perspective, like, imagine you have to share your shorty with 8 different guys. Always. And you
If
have to like, you know about it, but this is the normal, like, I'm not ready to settle down yet. I'm not ready to settle
before,
down.
and he's not saying I'm not ready to settle down. He's saying I'm not. I have options, and I'm exercising those options. And there's
That's
going to be
crazy
many
as
women.
hell. So
And
there's no way
what
he's
I was going to say is, somebody once said that
oh my god, if you reference
y'all
Kevin Samuels,
are
I
the
swear
most
to God.
imprecise interpreters. Y'all hear something and twist it up and change it into something different. Because what you
Like
just
what?
said, like you keep on saying things like he literally has the things you said, he's literally touched on the other thing. You just don't believe it. Like he's literally said something opposed to your point you're making, like to validate what he's saying, but you take it, you don't believe it.
You can't validate to me and make me think that you truly feel these deep emotions for 9 different women and you're not willing to commit to not one single one of them.
People operate differently. You say right now, imagine if the world was if everybody in the world was like Nick. Well, back in the ancient days, way back in the day, very few men only had one woman and only had one BM, as we call them today.
Mhm.
So it kind of was like that back in the day.
Yeah, but why is it now like I guess I just hate men in this generation, honestly. That's really it. Because I mean, I guess I can't speak for everybody, but, like, any man who's, like, semi-attractive and semi gets attention from females, I feel like thinks that way. Like, period.
Any man who gets attention from females thinks what way?
Thinks like, "Oh, I wanna have all my options," like, they want like, goes back into the last podcast, like, they want to have their cake and eat it too. They want Nick literally is the definition of having your cake and eating it too. He literally has 9 girls who are I don't even know how many there are, I'm just using a random number. Multiple girls who are head over heels in love with him, quote unquote, supposedly, that he's in love with too, but he also is keeping his options open. At any other time, there could be another girlfriend and another baby on the way. He literally said, "Did you see the numbers I did in 2021? Wait until you see 2022 numbers."
And
That's
this is after
disgusting, and
this is after a period of celibacy, but
a month and a half? I was celibate 2 different times for a year apiece. Yeah, one of them was more than a year. The other one was
but
360 days if we're being technical.
To
You
that
couldn't
point,
make it 2 months, Nick? Like, you couldn't make it 3 months, that's what he was supposed to do. He's like and then he's talking about, "This is disgusting. This is what I wanna get on."
hold on though. Let me get this. To that point, he did say some of the women I deal with, I know they're dealing with other people too. I can't have a problem with that while I'm doing
Those
what
are
I'm
not the girls
doing.
that are pregnant. No way.
I don't know.
No
He
way.
didn't clarify. So this is up for your interpretation. I don't
He's
know. We both
he's
don't know. It's not known.
he said side pieces, like, he loves being the side piece. He's not a side piece to a girl he impregnated. No way. She doesn't have a man and pregnant by Nick Cannon, like, come on now. So any of the girls that he has babies by, there's no way that he's the side piece to them and to what they've got going on.
He
He's
might not be the
posing
side piece, but they might have similar views as him. Like I mess with multiple people.
okay,
Clearly thinks very differently.
very.
Clearly. See, that's the thing about I believe you can have emotions for multiple different people for different reasons. I don't think that any of them can be at the same level. So I see what you're saying when you say like I don't see how you could really be head over heels in love with somebody and then be for everybody else too. I think that
He
I think he literally is putting pieces together all of his just one story, all of
but
his what he needs, he's getting what he needs and he's getting them. Please
how
believe you
many
ain't heard nothing negative, so he is taking care of what they need.
how many times did he mention his ego? He kept saying, "It's for my ego. It's for my ego. It's for my ego." And let's just get into the point that, like, I really thought this man was, like, about that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was listening to this podcast, and I'm like, "Bro, what?" Like, I really thought Nick Cannon was, like, with it all, but he ain't really with it all. Like, I was like, "Oh." I
That
was, like,
irritated
getting
you?
yeah, because I just feel like you hold yourself to the standard, you gotta perform at that standard, but the way he was saying things, it was, like, giving very
Well,
much like,
why don't you leave it for see, that's why I don't even typically watch these types of podcasts because it's to me, quite frankly, as my trademark phrase is, I think it's filth. I'd rather hear something more educational, something that's gonna like do something for me. But it is entertainment. Um yeah, what you're missing is ego is a factor in it. That's why you say so many men are like this because men are driven off of ego.
they're just broken.
More men
They're broken.
More men, it's an ego thing though. More men are driven off of the chase, what they can get, what they can have,
Mhm.
and how much they can get and how much they can have. It's literally in a man's makeup, literally.
Yeah, but I kinda think something's wrong with them, like, cause I don't feel like that's normal, like, I don't
Now, let me
I
put
don't
this
know.
disclaimer out. Quite frankly, there's nothing in the world, there's not enough good bomb sex to deal with multiple women.
That's what I'm saying, like,
A
multiple headaches.
relationship is a task.
Mhm. But
So
he's not in a relationship.
that's why for me, you pick the one who's worth dealing with the challenges of the relationship. That's why I can only be with one person because even with one person, everything else in my life I'm already spread so thin. But
Mhm.
he has more he has more resources, and with those more resources, to me it's definitely like he's he's giving you a lifestyle that you want, and in trade for that lifestyle you have to be one of six or seven, and they're all living very great, I'm sure, because I still, even with all the money and everything, I still don't know how he had so many women that haven't complained or said anything negative about him, really. Like, you don't see no press about, oh, you see the happy stuff, you see the maternity photos with different women and all that, all everybody looking happy. And granted, this is media, especially from a person who's like that, very famous. Everything's going to look a certain way, but with that comes the negativity, and you don't see too much of the negativity, other than people saying Nick Cannon due to have his 11th child.
Yeah. I just think but how like, think about it, how can you have a personal relationship with that many children and you don't even live with them? Like, at
That's
this point,
um
you're just procreating.
that's one of the things on the Joe Budden pod before they had him on. That's why I was excited because they've had conversations about him and they all have different views. Like, they look at him like a legend in one sense, but one of the dudes was like, they look at it like he can provide for them all, and like when he goes from city to city, see him very little, but he's providing this lifestyle and setting him up for a good life. But at the same point, another dude's like, but that's, to me, it's selfish because you're basically taking away an at-home father from all these children.
Mhm.
Like you're eliminating the opportunity for many children to have a father that's at home. But even if you're married with however many kids with one woman, if you're successful to that tier and you're on flights every other day or whatever, you're not going to have much time for your children if you're with one woman.
But it's a for life thing. That's what people are not realizing. It's a for life thing. You have these kids, and that is for life. So right now, you like Shorty. She's bad. She's cute. Whatever. Nick Cannon is going to be dealing with these same women when he's 60 years old
Hmm.
because he has children with them. That's so many headaches. And he literally said, "You think I did numbers in 2021? Wait until 2022." So he clearly has more kids on the way than he had in 2021.
Sure. I don't know how many he had in 2021,
I'm
two or
pretty sure
three,
it was
but
like 6.
I don't know. But
No, it was definitely more than 2 or 3. It was something crazy.
either
I don't
way, I
know.
mean, that's what this man chose. He walks in it, and he doesn't come off to me as like cocky or arrogant at all. It's just this is the shit that he does, and they accept it, and that's what it is. It's not arrogant to me because, like he said, that he didn't say this, but these women are making a choice too. Like they're making a choice. Like the girl said, that was the most profound part of the pod to me when she said, "Well, it's one thing if you playing me and you doing stuff I don't know about, and you leading me in a way where I'm blind and you doing shit behind my back. But if you put me in the know of this from the jump, then who can I blame but myself? It's just like some of the decisions that you have made, my friend, my
Who
dear
was
friend.
mean?
You,
Like what?
you know what it is, but you still had entertained it for a little bit, even though you knew what it was. So who can you be mad at other than yourself? So my point in saying that is these
No,
women
because
are
it
out here
wasn't
living their best life.
first of all, my situation, it wasn't, "Oh, you knew what it was," because no, for a very long time, I had no idea what it was. It
But
wasn't
after
like I
you
was like,
did
"Oh,
know,
yeah, me and my sister wives," and after I did know, I was also doing my own thing. I didn't
after
really know for until,
mm,
like, some months ago what it really was, like, until I did my own research.
but quite some months ago. But the point is even when you did know that, you still continued to accept headaches for a while. Correct?
I mean, you gotta
Yes.
think I didn't talk to him for 6 months.
It's also not the magnitude of having children with a man and then being
No.
alone with a child or anything like that. But still, who's to say they're alone? Again, some of them might have their own thing because I know for a fact, I know how women are. They might stay quiet, but something's got to keep them quiet. And sometimes money ain't enough. So, okay, if he ain't around, somebody will be.
Yeah,
I just ain't gonna let him find out. I don't know. Who knows?
I don't
But
know.
they all have some leverage.
They got
and they've
something,
all
that's for
and
sure.
they've all stayed quiet. So the man's doing something that's never been done before
Yeah,
so far.
very weird. He literally said that. He was like, "I'm trying to be the what did he say? I'm trying to be the something of this shit. I'm trying to be the" what did he
The king of
say?
this shit.
Like, the king of this shit or something, like, he was trying to, like he's trying to create a wave of, like, normalcy, essentially, is kinda how I took it. Like, he was like, "No, I'm trying to, like" he wants to be the creator of it, like, a whole 'nother
But
facade.
how would you define love? Because this is all based off of our outlook on what love and relationship should be. So how do you define it? Because I feel like there's no way, one way to define it. For every person, love is different. That's where each different definition of love ties into what your love language is. So for one person, love might be he does this man or this woman will do anything for me. She has my back. She's there for me. She supports me, encourages me. For another person, it might just be that she tolerates me and spends so much time with me and all this stuff. And like I know that she gives me gifts. Like the different love languages. It's different for every person. You can generalize
Um,
it, but
I don't really know how to explain, everyone's I guess everyone's definition is, but let's not is different, but let's not forget this man was married for years.
and
So,
he did, but
essentially,
so he did that thing.
the way I look at it is he was married and he was whatever, what is that where, like, you're platonic and you're only with one person, and he was like, "Nah, not really trying to do this. I'd rather, like, have multiple females and be able to do whatever I want and have no commitment," and, like, that's
Mm,
essentially what he did. He doesn't have a commitment. There's no
You
way you have a
can't,
commitment and you have multiple females. Like,
but
"Oh, your commitment is to all of us?"
he didn't have multiple females at that time when he was
No,
married to
I'm saying
Mariah.
he and yes, I'm saying he's been married before, so he's done that before. I'm saying now he
Yeah,
saw what that was like and was like, "Nah, not really trying to do that. I wanna be with multiple women and be able to do whatever I want," which is like douchebag-ish, like fuckboy-ish. That's just what I feel like. I'm so tired of this generation and normalizing, like, being with multiple different people and, like, it has to be so incredibly exhausting. Like, the last guy I was messing with, I don't understand how in the world you continuously have a roster full of girls. How? Like, how do
but
you have the energy or the time to bicker with multiple different people and entertain multiple different people? Something that doesn't make sense to me. It'll never make sense to me. It is what it is. Like, but that's the generation we're living in. That's the normalcy. That's the new normal. That's what
that's
people are on.
okay. But it's not to that mag. Like it's just a different level, though. He's on a whole nother level.
But there are
Like,
people on our level that are doing the same thing, living like
mm,
double, triple, quadruple lives.
to an extent, yeah. I mean, but it's different when you're talking about like bringing a baby into this world with somebody with five different women, but you also are supporting them all. Like I paint those dudes more negative than him. I don't have a negative outlook on the shit he's doing, quite frankly. It's just I
No
couldn't
guy
do it.
does. No guy's gonna be like, "Ew, filth." All guys gonna be like, "Yeah, bro, do you, bro? Wish I could do it."
Nah,
No.
I have no desire to do that, even if I had all the money in the world.
I'm just over Nick Cannon. Next subject.
If I had that type of money, I would retire and just be on the boat with my one family.
Yeah, but, I mean, hopefully there's just, some people out there that are just
Did that
left with
trigger you?
normalcy. Yes, it
So,
very
I
much
mean, like,
did.
so why do you think with all that you kept saying like that's what's wrong with this generation? That's the problem with this generation. Like, what is the real like deep seated problem with dating today? Like with this generation?
Is no one wants to make any type of commitment. No one wants to say, like, no one wants to be with one person. Like I've said in previous podcasts, they literally just wanna see if the grass is greener on the other side. You can literally be every single thing and perfect for someone, and it doesn't matter because they still want to see is the grass greener on the other side. Like they know you're the full package, but they're still kind of
Well,
curious.
but
And
that
I don't
could
want to
just be, but that could just be your
exactly. That's
experience.
what I was about to
That
say.
could also just be it's just in your lifetime. We have no reference from what it was truly like before. But
Mhm.
like people in my family and shit, I was raised. This is nothing new.
Yeah.
The only different thing that I see, like the difference that I see now is like it's more out in the open. Like it's more reckless now. There's it's been going on, especially from the standpoint of talking about males having multiple people that they entertain and people that they messing with. But I feel like back in the day, it was more traditionally like with our parents and grandparents and stuff.
Mhm.
It's not crazy to hear that grandpa had a mistress. Not mine
Yeah.
in particular. I'm just saying it's not
Yeah.
crazy to hear that. It's just people knew but kind of kept it on the hush. But now the way dudes move is just like it's just way more reckless. We know that you could take a picture and post it online, but we still not we, but people still will go out and do this reckless shit. Like I don't really care. The stakes aren't as high for me for some reason because I feel like there's just not as much value in the marriage and like family. That's
Mhm.
why divorce rates are so high because there's no value placed on like having a home, like a true
Yeah.
home with a family and a marriage. Back then, though, women would accept it and keep going because
Mhm.
more so because of the gender roles and the way society was. And now some do. Now some still be looking like fools, but it's less tolerable. We're not tolerating that. You can do that. I'll
Mhm.
do the same shit.
Yeah. That's so that kinda goes into, like, what I well, sort of goes into, like, what I was, a quote that I have for you. So the quote, I wanna see if you agree and what your opinion is on this and if you think it's an accurate quote or not. It
Okay.
says, "Women can have sex with whoever they want. Guys can have sex with w guys can have sex with whoever" wait, oh my god, sorry. I can't see it. I'll make it bigger. "Women can have sex with who whoever they want. Guys can have sex with whoever they can have sex with. However, guys will marry who they want, while girls will marry who they can."
Say that one more time for me, please.
Okay, women can have sex with whoever they want. Guys can have sex with whoever they can,
Mm-hmm.
or guys will have sex with whoever they can. And then, however, oh, sorry, I keep reading this wrong. It's so small. Okay. Women can have sex with whoever they want. Guys will have sex with whoever they can have sex with. However, guys will marry who they want while women will marry who they can. Basically saying women can sleep with anyone they want. Summing it up. Guys will sleep with whoever they can. However, men will marry who they want and women will marry who they can.
Generally
Sorry for
speaking,
me
yes.
reading that wrong 3 freaking times in a row. My bad, y'all.
Yeah, you're a little bit triggered right now. It's okay. Generally speaking, that's true. I mean, obviously, there's always some cases to where it's like, it's not really true. Like, no, I probably wouldn't mess with that. But generally, yes, women have way more options when it comes to sex,
Mhm.
but less options when it comes to marriage.
Facts.
And that's because of the way society is structured. No,
Mhm.
you can't really have an option of who you want to marry because the man has to ask typically. So you have to get us to ask. You
Yeah,
can get all the
but
sex you want, but what can you do past that to intrigue me to
no,
ask you?
men decide who they want to marry. Women have to settle for who they can marry. So essentially, like, whoever asks you is kind of like who you have to settle for. I just kind of feel like people in this like, I also feel like people in this generation settle. I feel like a lot of people are just settling, but then I come to the realization that I'm gonna have to just settle in order to be in a relationship at some point. It's gonna have to be some type of settlement, and I'm like, "Damn, I don't wanna do that." Like, I wanna be genuinely happy. I don't wanna have to settle. Like, I don't have to be like, I guess this is, like, as good as it can get. Because I see so many relationships where people are, like, miserable, but they don't wanna be by themselves, so they'd rather just be miserable with that person. I'm just like, "Damn." I don't
And
know.
that's a great topic actually. That's a what you just said.
We should talk about that on next pod.
I'm s- yeah, but just to touch on it quick, like I'm so sick of people saying I don't want to settle. I can
Mhm.
completely understand the whole premise of it. Don't settle on being unhappy. Absolutely not. But like I'm just very analytical and stuff. So instantly, like no matter what you do, you're going to have to settle for some things. As long as you're not settling on something that goes against your morals and principles and something that you can't live with, that's where you make your choice. Women don't have to marry who they can. You can say no. You don't have to do anything now in this time that
Mhm.
we're in. But the
Mhm.
quote makes sense. The quote definitely is true. But it's like you have a choice. So if there's that's where you get into the deal breakers. If somebody is absolutely a person that you can't really see yourself rocking with, but you just kind of entertain it and no, he proposed, so I'm gonna marry him, like that's truly settling.
Mhm.
But like of course there's always gonna be little small factors that you have to settle on. Well, she's this or she don't like this and that's something that I love, but is it a deal breaker? Because we also have a lot in common. So no matter what, every relationship is a challenge. So it's like
Mhm.
settle on small things, but don't settle on anything that you can't live with or that you can't be happy with.
That's what I'm
because
saying, people just bicker and argue and, like, I just can't I don't wanna do that, like, I mean, obviously, you're gonna bicker, obviously, you're gonna argue, you're gonna have those days, but, like, I'm just speaking about the people who first of all will just date anyone just to be able to say that they're with somebody. That's what I'm meaning. Like
yeah,
me,
for
I could
sure.
be in a relationship if I wanted to be in a relationship. If I wanted to
Yeah,
entertain 20 guys in my DMs right now, I would. I don't want to. Like, you know what I mean? Like I don't that doesn't fulfill me. I'm not one of them people who like gets like adrenaline rushes out of like entertaining multiple people. I don't seek
right.
validation from men. Like I never have been that female. I can lit like I said, I've been celibate 2 different times. And when I say celibate, I mean like completely cold turkey, not talking to guys, not hooking up with guys, not entertaining them, not chilling with them, just literally by myself and I'd be fine. I'd be good. So like,
It's it's definitely absolutely okay to have standards that you require, as
yeah.
long as sometimes as long as you realize what your standards are and you don't think that your standards are unreasonable.
Mhm.
Sometimes I think that your standard is a little bit unreasonable in a certain sense. Like your standards, no, but what you want with those standards, yes.
I don't think so.
Some of the little factors, but I've said this 1,000 times in the pod by now about your type.
I have a terrible type.
So that might be
That's
something you
clear.
have to settle on. The man might not be super outgoing, but he'll go on a vacation with you and the family
See,
and have a great time.
and that's the thing. I've dated
But
guys
he
who
goes
are
to work
like,
every day and he does his damn thing.
yeah, I've dated guys who are like, they're really good guys, but they're homebodies and they don't like traveling and they don't want to go out and they don't want to be like I don't know, those are, like, deal breakers to me. I want someone who wants to travel, I wanna be with someone who wants to go out and have a drink with me and my friends. Now, granted, I'm not saying every night, we're not all out all the time, but I'm saying, like, if I just had a long day at work and I'm like, "Hey, come grab a drink with us really quick," I don't see why that's, like, an issue. I mean, obviously, unless they don't drink, but still, then just come by, like, so I just think I nee I w you don't have to be the most outgoing person in the world, but I wanna laugh.
Sure, sure, sure. Of course. That was just like a way of me to I wasn't even saying that directly pertains to you. I'm just saying like that something small like that.
Yeah,
Um yeah, the dude
so
might have a different type of humor,
mhm,
but he's not like the life of the party. He's
I
not the
know.
class clown, but he can make these little remarks like he fits you.
Mhm,
Sometimes like damn, we're this is getting good. Sometimes like if you meet somebody who like you see the core potential in and you know that they're a genuine good person,
mhm.
you're not so sure if they have like the certain little qualities that give you that buzz at
Mhm,
first, but like the uncertainty because you haven't really spent enough time together yet. Like sometimes these things can form with comfort over
mhm,
time. So if there's not much negative going on, maybe it's worth entertaining a little bit longer to see if maybe it's worth taking the chance to see if just maybe you might be surprised.
mhm,
Because with you in particular, I think that you like somebody who instantly flashes.
mhm,
But sometimes it takes a little while for that wire to connect to the power and the light to come on.
mhm.
Like
I
once
think
you get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, you have to catch my eye in some way, but, like, see,
sure.
I've talked to guys who are, like who are not, like, the life of the party, but I'll give you a chance, but you get one chance, and then once you blow it like, once I look at you in one way and then once you blow that, I'll never look at you the same again. And my thing is a lot of people fall in love with people's potential. What could they potentially be? What could they potentially change? What do I like about them? But
Yes.
this could potentially be this way, but it's not really like this right now, but maybe they'll change and be this way. No, this is what they are.
That's
Believe people who like
believe them the first time.
exactly. If you
And
wanna be with
maybe
someone,
give them a second chance. Maybe give them a second chance. But once that's repeated once, then you know for a fact.
like yeah, I just
That's the problem is when you're like waiting for them to change who they are.
mhm,
I'm
they're
saying like
not.
waiting for certain qualities to show themselves, not waiting for a negative to change, because that's just typically not going to happen.
Like
Especially now, the older we get, the less. a person can change
Mhm.
as far
Like
as like fundamentally.
like, for example, I was, like, going on dates with this guy. He was a great guy. Everything was literally perfect, and I was like, "Wow, like, he's really good, like, everything he checks all my boxes." And then he texts me one day and he's like, you know, I just am not ready for anything serious. And I feel like our vibe is like, basically, he got scared. Like, the vibe was too good and he didn't expect for that to happen. Right. So he was
Hmm.
like, oh, wait, hold up, because I don't know if he thought it was just going to be like a fling. But then, like, after 3 dates, he was like, nah, like, I'm not ready to, like, be in a committed relationship right now, and that's where this is going. Like, that's what he thought. So, I was like, "Okay, I respect you for letting me know, like, thanks for letting me know." Well,
That's respectable,
for
but for
sure.
me, since we've taken this time, I need to know why you're not ready.
So, hear me out. A month goes by. I get a text. "What's up? Da, da, da." Like, he literally then was applying all the pressure. All the pressure. He was ready. I was the one for him. He knew that. Like, he wanted to try it. He wanted me to give him another chance. And once I saw you in this like light, and then you like doom crash it, then it's like, it's not I can't see you in that same light and again, like, can't see you in the
Right.
light that I saw you in, and that's what sucks is, like, damn, I was feeling you so much, like, it was such a good vibe, and, like, it was like, sex wasn't even involved, it was literally just vibes and energy and, like, conversation and really getting to know each other, and that's why I was like, "Dang, like, alright," and then it was like he was decided, like, no, he was about to fumble the bag, and then it was like, "Damn, you already did, 'cause now you can't come back from that because you blew it."
And this, I think, if I know who you're talking about,
Mhm.
did
Yeah, you
did you
know.
ever like figure out? You figured out why they weren't ready for it, right? Or
I believe so.
now, had he had just told you, had someone just, if some a dude just told you, like, man, like I'm really feeling you, and it kind of scares me because like I ain't got closure in my last situation, and I just have to give it one last spin. Could you
Oh,
ever
no, we're not talking about
entertain
the
that
same
again?
situation. That was a different one. That was a
Oh,
different
okay.
one. No, 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 not that one. This
But
was
it was the same type of thing, wasn't it?
yes, but this was like, prior.
Oh, okay.
Um, so but yeah, no, 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 not that one. That one was respectable. That one also was respectable. That's what I'm saying. That happens to me so often. Like, guys be like, "Damn, I love your vibe. I love your energy. Like, this is great. This is amazing. I'm not ready." Like, I don't know why. Like, what is so scary? Like, that
Maybe
situation
I'm
was
just
as well the same way. He literally was like, "Literally, there's nothing I would change about you." Just like the guy I just wasted 2 years with. Literally, verbatim. There's literally nothing I would change about you. You are going to be the most amazing wife to someone one day.
so
Why?
why but my thing is like why can't that make you want to change yourself? Not who
Exactly.
you are, but what you're doing. Why doesn't it make you want to like, damn, I fumbled the bag, let me get my shit together?
That's what I don't understand.
So instead of saying I'm not ready, say I'm a little fearful that like I can't meet the expectations that you have because of this. And
Mhm.
then you would probably respond with something like, well, shit, I'll help you build your I'll help you work on your stuff. Like
And
I'll
I've
be
said that.
patient.
I've said
Like
that.
it's
But they're not ready. They're just not. I think okay. So I kind of think it's because like I'm a good person and like I'm a good girl and I have my shit together. And so I think it's like, damn, they're scared they're gonna fuck it up, you know? Like they're really genuinely scared they're gonna like really mess it up and lose me all the way around. I
right.
really think that's what it is. Like if I do this and I mess it up, like it's gonna be bad. And I think that's kind of how they think of it, or they just know that they're not the person that I need. Like they're not everything that I deserve, and they're not that person right now. But they always spin the block. I mean, I've said that a million
Right.
times,
Right.
verbatim. Every time, no matter what, even if we don't ever end up together, even if we just talked and they said they're not ready, they always spin the block.
So would
and
you
that's on
consider
being a good person.
would
But
you
I can
consider yourself a demanding person like in a relationship? That's one thing. Like you're my best
no,
friend, but like I've been gone for 5 years and we became friends. We've been friends for over 10, but we became friends after the high school stage. So I've never really seen you up close and personally more than like except for a couple times with T. I've never seen you like in a relationship like often enough to see how you act with your partner.
no, I
You know
don't
what I
think.
mean? Like,
Yeah, I'm not demanding. I'm not like belittling. I I don't know. I would love
and I
to get
don't
like
think
one of
any
my.
woman would. I don't think any woman would ever say they're demanding. But
No,
one
I'm
thing
I'm
I
really
do know,
not. I'm like very loving. Like I'm not. What do you mean by demanding? Give me an example.
like you require a lot, like a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of effort. Of course, everybody wants energy and effort, but like demand, I don't know how to really explain it. Like, do males, some of those guys, do they see you as like this would demand too much of my time and attention and whatnot?
Yes,
Not
like
necessarily my
yeah,
commitment, but
yeah. They
that
think
might be
that
what it
I
is.
hold them to a certain standard and they don't think they can meet that standard. Now, not that they
Right.
can't, but they're not ready to. And maybe I am a little like I do. But I'm a boss, like, that's the thing, like, I literally don't have time, like, that's another thing, like, guys wanna text my phone back to back to back. Like, "Are you bored, sir? You don't have anything else to do? I bet you're not gonna reply to me?" No, I'm actually not because I have a job that requires my hands, both of them, and my feet.
Right.
So, I'm working, I'm not sitting on my phone, twiddling my thumbs, finding something to do for the day. I'm grinding right now, like, I don't have time for this. So, it's like I feel like I give space though. I'm
Yeah.
not, I'm not hovering. However, I will say when I'm in person with you, because I normally tend to date people who do not live in the same city as me, um,
Right.
I will be inside of your skin the entire time we are together. And that's just that on that. My love language is
Literally.
physical touch. And you're gonna feel so loved by me. Everyone feels loved by me, no matter who you are in my life. If you're
Which
friends, if you're
could
family,
be a little much for some people, but
I don't think it is for them. I don't think that's a red flag for them, and I'm not like that with everybody. That's like you I have to be warm with you. I'm not just like, first date, "Hey, hold my hand, let's hug and cuddle."
right, right.
Like, I'm not like that. But
I just don't understand like at this age we're at, like why people still aren't ready. Like you're 33. Why are you not ready?
mhm,
How much more time do you want to waste? Like this shit's crazy to me. I know I'm wired different because I've never really been like a slow mover, as you know. But
mhm. Yeah, I
yeah,
know, trust me.
but I ain't trying to waste all this damn time. Let's just get to it, shit.
I don't know, like, I don't know, you're different than a lot of guys, though, I will say in this generation,
If
a lot of guys
if I like you, I like you. That's what it is.
yeah,
And I'm
they,
also the type. I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm a demanding person, but like what you just said, the boss. You're a boss. The boss chick stuff. It can be like a little bit to some dudes intimidating. And you're
mhm,
very, very busy. So it's like I'm not demanding, but like if you're busy all the time, if we're both
mhm.
busy all the time, I am the type that would be a little salty if once you do have time, I'm not placed first
Oh, no, for
in
sure.
the person you want to spend time with. So, oh, you out and about, but I ain't seen you in 5 days,
Yeah.
6 days.
No.
Like what? I would be on that type of stuff.
Yeah, no,
And I
I
actually like appreciate the type of person chick who's like that too. Like I like a little feistiness, although it can be challenging sometimes. I like a
mhm,
little bit of bark. I don't like to. I can't have a yes man. A yes man allows me to do whatever I want to do, but it doesn't. I do still need a little bit of bark back because
mhm.
it helps. It's good. It keeps you on the right path.
Yeah. I definitely got that. That's the problem. That's my problem too. I was like, "You
But
always got something to say. You always
yeah,
got something to say."
you
I feel like
as
I'm not easy, but I'm worth it. I'm not easy,
as
but I'm worth it. And every single guy that I've ever messed with can contest to that. It wasn't easy dealing with me, but it was worth every single second.
as your best friend, I definitely that's what I was thinking. Like you do have you can be aggressive in moments.
Mhm.
Like
I'm not like
now,
that in relationships though.
obviously our shit's different. Our relationship is different than uh partner that you'd have, but
Mhm.
you can come off a little bit aggressive when you talking your shit. That's for sure.
Mhm.
But it is
I'm
what it is.
I feel like I'm so easy to read. Like, if I'm mad, oh my god, you don't even gotta I don't even gotta say a word. The moment you walk in the room, you gonna feel like you can cut the tension with a knife. If I'm sitting there like, oh my god, I just remember one time.
Same with
One
me. People.
time, this man got out the shower, he looked at me, he said, "Whoa, what's wrong with you? We gonna talk about it now, or you wanna talk about it in a little bit? Like, cause what's up? Because you are mad. I don't know what's wrong or what I did, but let's talk about it right now." I'm like, "Mhm."
Some like for me, like my face show expressions and demeanor will show it all as well. Like so, you
Oh,
can
for sure.
people can read when I'm upset too. But also on the same note, I just have like a resting angry face because I'll be out and about sometimes. People be like, "What's wrong?" It's nothing. Just because I'm not like chopping it up with you, laughing my ass off, doesn't mean something's wrong. It's just I'm
Yeah.
not with our we're not like that. Like
Yeah.
it's I'm just kind of here.
Mhm.
I'm
Chilling.
enjoying myself and shit, but I'm chilling, like I'm cooling.
Yep. Well,
Well, you wanna get to the question? Let's get to the question before we wrap it up.
do you think we can talk about the question in like 4 minutes, or should we leave the question for the juicy question for next week's pod?
We can leave that for next week's pod because next week I do actually want to really hit once a cheater, always a cheater, and a few
Mhm.
other relationship things. So we
Yeah.
can leave it for the next one because it would take us overtime for sure.
For sure. We definitely can really get into it. So we have a juicy question for next pod. Please make sure you don't miss it. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can go ahead and actually just go to my TikTok and click my link tree, and you can find every single thing that inquires me on my link tree, or go to my Instagram and click my link tree and see me. What are your tags?
I'm on TikTok at it's your boy ZB. Everybody, please email timeoutletsgetreal@gmail.com. We want feedback on the pod. Even better, the juicy questions that people give us.
Mhm.
People seeking advice. People just with a story that they think would be cool to be shared
Yep.
would be dope. So everybody, keep listening. Give us your feedback. Hit us up on our handles.
And if you have any, like, if you want to put your input in on this week's pod, we will, and you email it to us or DM me, I'll read the whole message in next week's pod so we can see what the listeners' feedback was on my opinion, ZB's opinion, how we felt. Was I triggered? Do you agree with Nick Cannon? Do you not agree? What are your views? Let us know at timeoutletsgetreal@gmail.com. And
Yeah,
thank you all
let
for
us know.
listening. See you guys next
Shout
week.
out to y'all
Bye.
next week.